Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are breaking down one of the biggest and most controversial stories in the business and tech world. Elon Musk's Tesla pay package, a deal so huge, so bold, and so out of this world that it has people asking if the future of corporate leadership has changed forever. Because this is not just another paycheck. This is a billion-dollar gamble built on ambition, power, and the promise of Mars. Now listen, this deal is worth billions. And here is what makes it wild. Even if Musk misses his so-called Mars shot goals, the man could still walk away with a payout that most CEOs could never even dream of. That is right, billions of dollars, even if some of those massive futuristic targets never actually get reached. So how did we get here? Tesla shareholders approved one of the most daring compensation packages in corporate history. No salary, no bonus, no safety net. Instead, Musk only gets paid when he hits massive milestones tied to the company's performance and value. These are not small goals. These are world-changing targets, like taking Tesla's market cap to astronomical levels, expanding into energy dominance, and delivering breakthroughs that change how we live, drive, and power our planet. But here is the twist. Those goals, the ones people called Mars shot ambitions, they were not designed as all or nothing deals. Even partial progress could unlock billions. And that is exactly what is sparking the debate, because while some see it as the price of innovation, others say it is the sign of unchecked power. Think about it. Tesla, under Musk's leadership, went from near bankruptcy to becoming a global powerhouse. Its market cap once exploded past $1 trillion, a number that seemed impossible just a decade ago. The man redefined what electric vehicles could be and forced the entire industry to evolve. But still, critics are asking a simple question. Should someone earn billions if they do not deliver on every promise? Now pause for a second and let that sink in. The Mars shot goals were never guaranteed. They were inspiration markers. Things meant to drive ambition, not define payment. The fine print says progress counts, not perfection. And that single detail changes everything. Because it means even if Musk never gets humans living on Mars, even if Tesla never achieves full autonomy across the globe, he still qualifies for enormous compensation simply because the company reached monumental growth in other areas. Supporters say that is fair, that it rewards long-term vision, that Musk deserves it because he built a movement, not just a company. He pushed boundaries, created jobs, inspired industries, and changed consumer behavior forever. And they are not wrong. In many ways, Tesla became more than a car brand. It became a symbol of possibility. The idea that one person's belief in the future can literally reshape entire economies. But here is where it gets tricky. Not everyone sees it that way. Critics are calling this the blueprint for billionaire excess. They argue it rewards wealth creation over accountability. They say it sends the wrong signal to corporate America that ambition itself can be monetized even when the results fall short. And they worry that future CEOs might follow the same path, asking for extreme payouts tied to hype rather than hard results. Now zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This story is not just about Elon Musk. It is about how business itself is evolving. The line between visionary leadership and unchecked power keeps getting thinner. Musk has always operated differently. He does not follow the playbook. He rewrites it. And this pay package proves that again. He has built his empire on risk and reputation. And now the system he challenged is rewarding him for it, whether or not every dream materializes. Listen, there is something magnetic about Musk. His name, his ideas, his companies, they command attention. They move markets. Every tweet, every statement shifts billions in value. And that is part of the reason Tesla remains one of the most watched stocks on the planet. Investors do not just buy cars, they buy belief. And Musk sells belief better than anyone else alive. But this time, even some of his most loyal supporters are pausing because the stakes have never been higher. Tesla is facing new competition from China, rising costs, slower demand, and the electric vehicle boom is hitting its first real test. So when a pay package worth more than $55 billion is still valid despite missed stretch goals, people start asking, is this reward still justified? Here is the thing. This package was approved years ago when Tesla was smaller and the world was still catching up to Musk's ideas. Back then, it looked impossible. Hitting $1 trillion market cap seemed like science fiction, but he did it. And that is why supporters say he earned every cent. The company's valuation exploded, its products disrupted multiple industries, and its brand became cultural currency. But detractors argue that those achievements are already priced in, and paying him more now feels excessive, especially as Tesla faces real-world challenges. This story hits deep because it touches on what we value more: results or vision, execution or ambition. And that question divides not just analysts, but the public too. One side believes Musk is a rare force of nature, someone whose thinking pushes humanity forward. The other side says genius does not excuse greed. That accountability must still matter even at the top. Now here is a fact. The Mars shot goals, the ones that made headlines, were not literal checkpoints for his compensation. They were part of a narrative Musk built to inspire. He has said before that he does not work for money, but for impact. But when impact translates into tens of billions, the lines start to blur, because regardless of intention, the outcome is financial dominance on a level almost unmatched in modern times. And this is where the tension grows. Investors want innovation, but they also want assurance. They want Tesla to keep building the future, but without the distraction of controversy. They want Musk-focused. Yet lately, the man has divided his time between Tesla, SpaceX, AI, and X, the social platform formerly known as Twitter. And that divided attention worries some who believe Tesla deserves a full-time CEO, not a multitasking empire builder chasing multiple frontiers at once. Still, others say that is exactly what makes him irreplaceable. No one else can think that big or move that fast. His chaos is part of the formula. The volatility is the price of vision. He takes risks others would never even attempt, and that fearlessness is what made Tesla what it is today. But as much as this story is about vision, it is also about control. Tesla has tied its fate so tightly to one man that every decision, every public statement, every lawsuit affects its stock price directly. And this pay package brings that dependency into sharper focus. It shows how much Tesla is still built around Musk's persona, for better or worse. Now think about the timing. This debate comes as the global economy shifts. Investors are more cautious, regulators are more aggressive, and the spotlight on billionaire influence burns brighter than ever. Every dollar Musk earns gets analyzed. Every move he makes gets magnified. The old world of silent boardrooms and hidden deals is gone. Now every corporate decision becomes public spectacle, and in that spectacle Musk thrives. He has mastered the art of attention. He knows how to make the world watch. And when the world watches, Tesla grows. That is the paradox he created. His power feeds on visibility, and his visibility fuels his value. But beneath all that noise, something deeper is happening. This story is not just about compensation. It is about the future of capitalism. It asks whether extraordinary vision justifies extraordinary reward. It asks if a company built on big dreams can afford to let one man become bigger than the company itself. Listen, this is not just a Tesla story. This is a human story. It is about the tension between purpose and profit, between dreams and deliverables, between leadership and loyalty. Every generation has someone who pushes the limits. Musk is ours. He dreams of Mars while everyone else debates parking sensors and battery supply. And yet he manages to make both matter in the same conversation. That is rare. That is influence. Now think about this. When Tesla first revealed this pay structure, experts laughed. They said it was impossible. The milestones were too high, the goals unrealistic, the odds too extreme. And yet Musk hit nearly all of them faster than anyone predicted. So when people say he should not earn billions, they forget that his entire deal was a bet, and he won that bet multiple times. But still, there are layers here. This time around, it is not about whether he achieved the impossible, but whether he deserves continued reward for potential, not performance. That is the crack in the armor. That is where the arguments start. Because this package extends beyond achievement, it stretches into legacy, it builds wealth on momentum, and not everyone is comfortable with that idea. Even those who admire his genius are wondering if this deal has crossed into dangerous territory. Now look ahead. Tesla is transforming. It is no longer just about cars. It is about software, AI, robotics, and energy. Musk is positioning it as the center of a technological ecosystem. And if that vision succeeds, those billions might look like a small price to pay for leadership that defines an era. But if the growth stalls or public trust fades, those billions could turn into a symbol of imbalance. A reminder of how power sometimes outpaces accountability. And here is what makes this story so gripping. The ending is not written yet. Musk could still prove every critic wrong. He could hit those Mars shot goals one by one. He could deliver full autonomy, sustainable dominance, and interplanetary expansion. And if that happens, history will call this deal visionary, not greedy. But if he falls short, the backlash could redefine how we pay leaders for decades. So the question is, what do we value more? The dreamer who risks everything or the pragmatist who demands results? That choice defines not just Tesla, but the culture of innovation itself. Because in every boardroom right now, this debate echoes. If ambition becomes a paycheck, where does responsibility begin? Let us not forget this deal is unprecedented. 12 tranches of stock options, each unlocked by massive performance targets, each representing billions in potential reward. And he already achieved most of them through rapid expansion, global production, and market dominance. And yet the controversy keeps circling, because now Tesla must prove that future growth still justifies that structure. Supporters say Musk is not just building cars, he is building civilization, and they mean it. They point to SpaceX, Starlink, Neuralink, and now XAI as proof that his reach spans industries that once seemed unrelated. He is not just a businessman. He is a systems architect building an interconnected network of future technology. They say paying him billions is the cost of innovation that moves humanity forward. But again, others say that argument is a trap because it glorifies individualism over teamwork. They remind everyone that Tesla is not one man. It is tens of thousands of engineers, designers, and workers who turn those ideas into real products. They believe those billions could do more good if spread across innovation investment rather than personal fortune. And that is the ethical dilemma. Yet time and time again, Musk thrives under pressure. He absorbs criticism, converts it into motivation, and then delivers results that silence the noise. He seems to draw energy from resistance. The louder the doubt, the faster he moves. And that is what keeps Tesla in headlines and investors on edge. Nobody can predict his next move, and that unpredictability is both his weapon and his weakness. Now here is where we land. Tesla is a story of extremes, extreme ambition, extreme success, extreme risk, and this pay package embodies all of that. It reflects a system built around belief in one man's ability to push limits. And while the debate over fairness will continue, one truth stands firm. Elon Musk has already rewritten the rules. He turned impossible into inevitable. And whether he hits Mars or not, he has already changed how the world defines leadership. And that brings us to the real takeaway. This is not about the billions. It is about the signal it sends to the next generation of innovators. That audacity still matters. That dreaming big still counts. That the world still rewards those who take risks while others hesitate. But it also warns that with great power comes intense scrutiny. And no amount of money shields you from accountability. So what happens next? The story continues. Tesla's next moves will define whether this deal becomes a symbol of success or a cautionary tale. Musk has always played the long game. And right now, he is betting not just on Tesla, but on humanity's ability to follow him into a future that looks impossible. And maybe that is the point, because every breakthrough in history starts with someone who refuses to play small. The numbers may be shocking, the opinions may be divided, but one thing is undeniable. Elon Musk has once again made the world watch, talk, and debate. And in today's attention economy, that is its own kind of power. If you made it this far, stay tuned, because this story is far from over. The next chapter could change everything from corporate pay structures to how the world values innovation. And if history is any guide, Musk will not stay quiet for long. He will keep pushing, keep disrupting, and keep reminding everyone that impossible is just another word for unfinished. So remember this when the headlines fade and the debates settle. It is not just about billions or Mars. It is about the mindset that dares to build the future before anyone else even believes it is possible. Elon Musk has always built his world on impossible ideas, and this time is no different. He built Tesla when the world laughed at electric cars. He built rockets when experts said it was too expensive. He is now building AI when others are still trying to understand it. And whether you love him or hate him, you cannot ignore him, because every move he makes rewrites what people believe can be done. This pay package proves one thing: that belief itself has value, that conviction can create markets, and that in the age of attention, the boldest idea often wins. It also proves that the system rewards visionaries who dare to think decades ahead while the rest of the world focuses on the next quarter. That is why, even in controversy, Musk holds power, because he plays a different game. Listen, you can debate fairness all day. You can analyze numbers, argue percentages, question intent, but you cannot deny the scale of impact. Tesla did not just change transportation. It redefined how industries think about energy. It forced governments to accelerate sustainability. It made old automakers rethink their future. And through it all, Musk positioned himself not as a CEO, but as a movement. That is what his supporters see. That is why they defend this pay structure. Because to them, it is not just money. It is momentum. It is recognition that some people operate on a frequency the rest of the world cannot match. They see Musk not as a man chasing wealth, but as a man chasing history. And they believe that history demands a price. Still, critics will not let it slide. They see imbalance. They see danger in letting personality become policy. They see risk in building a company's worth around one person's myth. And they have a point, because even legends face limits. Even visionaries must answer to accountability. And at some point, even Tesla must prove that its future is bigger than its founder. This is where the balance of power shifts. Because as Tesla matures, the expectations rise. The investors get sharper, the questions get louder, the margin for error gets smaller, and Musk will need to prove that this deal benefits not just him, but everyone who believes in the mission. Right now, Tesla stands at a crossroads. It has the technology, it has the infrastructure, it has the brand loyalty that others envy. But it also has scrutiny. Every decision Musk makes echoes across markets. Every tweet sparks headlines. Every promise gets measured in billions. And that pressure is both fuel and fire. The pay package is not just a paycheck. It is a statement. It says that the world still bets on belief. It says that risk still matters. And it says that even if Musk misses Mars, he still changed Earth. That is the heart of it. Even if he never lands humans on Mars. Even if Tesla never reaches total autonomy. He still redefined what business can look like when ambition becomes mission. He showed that leadership can be less about safety and more about daring. And whether that makes him a hero or a warning sign is up to history to decide. So when you hear that Elon Musk could still earn billions, even if he misses his Mars shot goals, remember this. He already hit the hardest one. He made the world believe in the impossible. And once you do that, the rest is just execution. That is why this story keeps people watching, because it is not just business news. It is the story of how far one person can stretch possibility before it breaks. And maybe that is what makes him who he is. Someone who keeps testing the edge of what can be done. Someone who keeps proving that vision still has value. Someone who refuses to stop until the world catches up. The debate will continue. The lawsuits may come. The analysts will argue. The markets will react. But the truth remains. Musk built something that transcends the ordinary. He built a legacy that pays in belief. And that kind of currency is worth more than dollars. Tesla will keep moving forward. The cars will keep selling. The factories will keep running. The headlines will keep coming. And Musk will keep doing what he does best. Defying expectations, provoking reactions, and turning vision into reality. That is the story. That is the reason people cannot look away. And that is why this pay package matters. Because it is not about what he earns. It is about what it represents. It is about ambition rewarded and controversy accepted as the cost of greatness. If you are still here, hit that like button. Share this with someone who follows the Musk story. Because this chapter is only the beginning. The future is unfolding right now. And Musk is already building the next part of it. Stay tuned, because when Elon Musk moves, the world listens.